Hello again, everyone, from beautiful downtown Plattsburgh. On the campus of Plattsburgh High School, Hometown Cable presents CVAC JV Soccer. This afternoon, we've got the matchup between the Cougars of Northeastern Clinton Central School, coached by Frank Dumas, and the Plattsburgh High School Hornets. Should be a good matchup. We are just underway.
They're starting about 6 minutes early, and there's nobody here to run the clock, so I think maybe the timer's on his way.
Well, we will guess at the time. Hopefully we won't have any timing issues in this contest. These are two teams that met earlier this season in a scrimmage in Champlain, a game won by the Cougars by a score of 3-2. That's the only loss of the season for the Plattsburgh High School Hornets. Hornets on the attack, dumping it into the Cougar zone. It'll be a throw-in for the Cougars.
Goal kick. Be a goal kick, actually.
See, this will be the first ever soccer game that I've announced, Calvin, so if it sounds more like a hockey game, we'll apologize in advance.
Yeah, I know, we got all those throw-ins in hockey, it just, so.
The Cougar roster: Avery Trombley is number 1, Zach Gay 3, Daniel Patry 4, Cole Cooper 5, Colby Provost 6, Matt Letourneau is 7, Dustin Pupor 8, Evan McDougall 9, Ben Leduc 10, Tyler Bosley 11, Marcus Lefebvre 12, Alex Cartier 13, Alex Lamberton 14, Josh Rabideau is 15, Alex Davison is 16, Liam McDonough 17, Castle Birch 18, Patrick Parent is 20, Cody Nass, 21, Bo Leduc, 22, Thomas Bedard, 23, and Dale O'Neill is 26.
Keith Revideau is here, he's on time, but the game is ahead of him.
The Plattsburgh roster: Chris Poisson is 2, Chris Gray 3, David Carpenter 4, David Ferris 5, Mohammed Eltaher 7, Kobe Durham is 8, Tim McCoy 9, Jack Toloski is 10, Mitch Maggie 11, Eric Phillips is 12, Nate Nolting 13, Mitch Gwanga 14, Brad Buskey 17, Jake Morrow is 19, Nick Bracey 20, Rob Fout 21, Michael Elkins 22, Nate Emery 24, Rob Knowles 25, Lucas Wood 26, and Ben Newvine is 27. Now it will be a Plattsburgh out of bounds. The ball will go over to Northeastern Clinton. The goaltenders: Mitch Maggie is getting the start for Plattsburgh High School. Dale O'Neill in the goal to our right for the Cougars. We are scoreless, just about 5 minutes into the contest from the Plattsburgh High School Athletic Complex. Ball played back in by McDonough. Bracey tried to clear it, got it over the near side for Elkins. Or that was Wood, rather. Ball goes out of play. It'll be a Plattsburgh throw-in. Ball comes loose in front. Maggie comes out, makes the stop. He'll throw it up. And it's brought up by Plattsburgh High School. Played into the center for Carpenter. He could not control it. Jake Morrow battling for it on the far side with Cole Cooper. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Hornets. Hornets with a shot. Nice block by Ben Leduc. Well, the 34-minute, 40-second mark in a scoreless tie throw in by the Cougars. They'll look to bring it down into the Plattsburgh zone, broken up there by the Hornets. Bracey plays it for center. That one is intercepted. McDonough plays it to the near side for Tremblay. Tremblay could not get around the defender, and the Hornets will bring it back up. Stopped by Gay. Gay kicks it in for Tremblay, but Lucas Wood will let it go out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Plattsburgh. Maggie's kick was blocked by Letourneau. Letourneau looks to bring it in for the Cougars. Hornets play it back up to center. David Carpenter with it. Gets around one man, but the Cougars will play it back in. Cooper, his pass was intercepted. Jake Morrow battling on the far side along with Ben Leduc. Cougars control it. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to go off the Cougars. Plattsburgh throw-in. Jack Toloski checks in for Plattsburgh High School. Jake Morrow comes to the bench. Hornets control it. David Carpenter loses it now. They try to get it back over for David Ferris, but that pass was intercepted and goes out of bounds. It'll be a Hornet throw-in. Bracey will handle it. Carpenter chases after it. Takes it into the far corner. Ball goes out of bounds. Throw in for Plattsburgh. Play it for the middle, but it's cleared nicely by the Cougars. Bracey kicks it back in for Plattsburgh. That one goes off the head of Zach Gay out of bounds, and it'll be a Plattsburgh throw-in. Carpenter tries to head one over to the middle. There's Poisson with it now for the Hornets. He's guarded closely by Bo Leduc. Cougars come out with it. They try to get it ahead for Avery Tremblay. Tremblay has it broken up, and it's played back out by Plattsburgh. Nice interception there by McDonough. McDonough with it for the Cougars. That one was played off at Durham. Hornets look to come back with it. David Carpenter over for David Ferris. Ferris gets it back to Carpenter. Ball rolls in on net. Goaltender gets to it first. O'Neill picks it up. And O'Neill will boot one away. 30 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the first half here at Plattsburgh High School. Scoreless contest between the Cougars and the Hornets. Durham kicks it down. It's going to go out of bounds. It'll be a Cougar throw-in. Gay throws it in. Headed away by Durham. Fout with it for Plattsburgh. Goes back to Durham. David Carpenter chasing after for Plattsburgh with Zach Gay. Carpenter takes it into the corner, and Gay kicks it out of bounds. So Plattsburgh will have the corner kick. Nice stop by the goaltender O'Neill. Lucas Wood took the kick for Plattsburgh. Cooper plays it ahead for the Cougars. There's a number 19 with it in the corner. We don't have a 19 on our roster, but I hear the parents yelling, "Go Pat." So we'll assume that's Patrick Parent, who was listed as number 20.
Okay.
Would that be a safe assumption?
He's probably marked down from 1995 now.
So Parent with it in the corner. Plays it in, cleared back out by Plattsburgh. David Carpenter with it now. Carpenter has some open turf. Could not get to it first. Cougars play it back into the Plattsburgh half. Plattsburgh called on the offside. We'll turn the ball over to the Cougars. 28 minutes now remaining in the first half. Carpenter chases after it along with Gay. Gay comes out with it. Kicks it up to center. Avery Tremblay goes after it. Bounces past Tremblay. But Tremblay's going to get it back again. Tremblay brings it in. Looks for a man in front. Gets it across for Leduc. Leduc tries to get the kickoff. He does, and it's off the goalpost. Shot from the corner by Parent. That one won't go through. Cougars with some good pressure here. Parent tries to head one in. And they're going to get to it just before it goes out of bounds, but they'll end up kicking it out of bounds, and the Cougars will have it. 27 minutes remaining in the first half, scoreless tie. The brunt of the offensive pressure has come from Northeastern in this last minute and a half. McDonough with a kick. It'll bounce in on a couple of hops to the goaltender Maggie, who picks it up. Maggie boots one down. Goes off the foot of Ferris. It's going to roll all the way down. Kicked over to the near side for McDonough. McDonough on it. Plays it out of bounds. It'll be a White throw-in. Rob Knowles checks into the game for Plattsburgh High School as Jack Toloski comes to the bench. Parent and Bracey take the battle into the corner. Parent tries to play it in front of the net. Ball goes out of bounds. They will set it up for a goal kick. Chris Gray checks into the game for Plattsburgh High School. David Carpenter comes to the bench for a rest. It'll be a Plattsburgh throw-in. Ball thrown in from Morrow. It'll go right back out of bounds. It'll be another throw-in for the Hornets. This time they go into the corner to try to get it to Fout. Fout kicks it in front of the net. Ball comes loose. Knowles kicks it through the goalpost, but that will only count in football. Not only that, the ball hopped over the fence, and it's probably in the river by now.
His father's going to have a bill when his game is over.
Fout with it for Plattsburgh. He'll kick it into the far corner. Ferris chases after it. He battles with Leduc. Ball goes loose. Hornets will have their second corner kick of the game. Ball is headed out by the Cougars. Parent with it now. Kicks it all the way down to the Plattsburgh end. Picked up by Nolting. Letourneau now for the Cougars. For Leduc. Parent in the corner. Tries to get around Nolting. They collide. Ball still loose. Rolls out of bounds. It'll be a white throw in. Plattsburgh will have the throw in. Well, not only have they not found the ball that went over the fence down toward the river, it seems as though we've lost the ball boy too.
Well, let's hope we find the ball boy.
Cougars kick it into the box. Maggie makes the save.
I've never veered over that fence. Is it a drop right there, Rick, or what's the situation?
It's maybe about 15, 20 feet down to the river. But there's probably at least 15 feet before you get to that drop-off.
So it's a quick drop once you get to that area?
Once you get there, you're going straight down.
Let's hope he was smart enough not to go searching for it beyond the first 10 feet.
Now, the ball boy and the ball have now emerged from Hornets look to control. Now Knowles has it. Kicks it to the near side. Pass was for Chris Gray, but it was too far in front of him. Cougars have it now. Gray. Ball comes out to Knowles. Knowles battles with Lamberton. That was 17, rather. That was McDonough. 21 minutes remaining in the first half. Scoreless tie.
There's a McDonough on the JV girls, too. They all wear number 17.
That's a name that I'm quite familiar with from hockey, playing for the North Country Cougars. They are very talented hockey players as well.
That could very well be. Of course, the 17 is, of course, Havlicek's number. Which wasn't hockey, though.
And a different colored ball here. Eric Phillips will kick it up for Plattsburgh, but McDonough breaks it up. Gray gets it for Ferris. Ferris looks to bring it down, goes back to Gray. Gray still with it for the Hornets. Over for Fout. Fout tried to go into the corner, but McDonough intercepted the pass. Ball goes free on the far side. Morrow with it for Plattsburgh. Kicks it in. Goaltender makes an easy one-hop save, and O'Neill will put one away for Northeastern. The Plattsburgh is already doing better than they did the first time these two teams met. By the halfway point of the first half, it was 2-0 Northeastern already. They got a couple of quick goals in that contest. Goaltender comes out to kick it away, up to center. Played over to the near side for Knowles. Knowles kicks it past McDonough for Gray. Gray tried to get it back to Ferris. Knowles lost it. Kicked back down for Tremblay. Now Cooper has it go out of bounds. Off the Plattsburgh throw-in. Cougars control it. Cooper played over to the far side. Parent chases after it. He battles with Morrow. Bracey comes in to help out for the Hornets. Ball rolls out of bounds. It'll be a Cougar throw-in. Knowles heads one up, but it's taken there by Bedard for the Cougars. Bedard now battling along with Durham. Parent let it go out of bounds. He tried to put a move on Nick Bracey. It will be a Cougar throw-in. No, they're going to say it was off Northeastern, and they'll give the goal kick to Plattsburgh.
Oh, well.
I think Northeastern thought the same thing I did. Ooh, there's a trip. Whoa, not called. McDonough looks to kick it in for the Duke. Cleared back out by Plattsburgh. .30 remaining here in a scoreless first half. You're watching CVAC JV Soccer on Hometown Cable. Rick Knowles on the call. Calvin Castine on the camera. There's a shot in on Maggie. He'll make the easy catch. Maggie will boot one out for the Hornets. Matt Letourneau with it for the Cougars. Plays it over for Leduc, who tried to get it back to Cooper. The Hornets clear it back out. Tremblay over for Letourneau. That was intercepted. Kicked back in by Davison. Picked up by the goaltender Maggie.
Keeper.
What do you mean keeper? He's the goaltender.
I've been corrected by hockey fans that the hockey keeper is not a keeper, he's a tender, and this guy's a keeper. So hockey fans can have their way, soccer fans can have their way too.
Ball is going to roll out of bounds off the foot of Zach Gay. It'll be a throw in for the Hornets. Substitutions for the Cougars coming into the game are Daniel Patry and Marcus Lefebvre.
And it's Patry.
Sorry.
That's all right. He's been called Patry before, I'm sure.
David Carpenter kicks one off the post. So both teams have hit the goal post this afternoon. Not a lot of scoring chances for Plattsburgh High School. The Cougars have had a few, but that was the first one that had a chance for the Hornets this afternoon. Throw in for the Cougars. Cougars on the attack here. Parrott brings it down. Feet get tangled up. Ball rolls out of bounds.
That was definitely out of bounds. There's no question on that one.
But I don't think they ruled it out of bounds.
No. Stanley just let him play it.
Well, he may want to get home and watch that Dodger-Cardinal game later on this afternoon.
Doesn't take any more time if they take a goal kick or a punt, so don't know what he did there.
There'll be a throw-in for the Plattsburgh Hornets. Toloski checks back into the game for Rob Knowles. Game's getting a little bit more physical as we approach the later stages of half number one. Josh Rabideau comes into the game for the Cougars as Patrick Parent heads to the bench. Chris Gray tries to get it over to the far side for Tulaski. It's going to roll out of bounds. And they're going to roll it off the Cougars. They'll give the corner kick to Plattsburgh. Had 3 corner kicks for the Hornets this afternoon. Cougars have yet to try one from the corner. This will be Tulaski to kick it for PHS. It's going to roll in. Ball loose in front, shot blocked, did not get through to the net. Gray tries to play it back in front. Header, that's going to go to the near side, and the kick, and that one's going to go just wide of the goal post. Plattsburgh with some pressure here, but it's going to go up and over the back of the net and go out of bounds. And the Cougars will get a chance to relieve the pressure here. Kicked up for McDonough. Intercepted by Tulaski. Tried to get it to Carpenter. Broken up there. Cleared back out by the Cougars' Letourneau. Eric Phillips now for Plattsburgh. Gets it for Rob Fout. Over for Carpenter. They try to get it in the front for Gray. Ball rolls loose and a save by O'Neill. Quick reactions by O'Neill to come out and grab that ball before Plattsburgh could get a foot on it. Nolting kicks it all the way down in on net. Scooped up by O'Neill. And O'Neill will boot one out once again. This one's going to go out of bounds off the Cougars. Plattsburgh throw in. We've got 10:25 remaining in a scoreless first half. We've seen the Hornets a few times try to just dump it in and chase after it in front of the goaltender, but O'Neill has been quick and been able to get to the ball before the Hornets have been able to get to it. More substitutions for Plattsburgh as Ferris comes back into the game. Gray will take a seat. Eric Phillips throws it in for the Hornets. Fout kicks it down. Picked up by the Cougars. It's going to go out of bounds off Plattsburgh. It'll be a Cougar throw-in. David Ferris for Plattsburgh tries to go to Tulaski. Tulaski will chase after it. He's able to keep it in. Looks for someone in front. Takes the kick. It's going to go wide and picked up by the goaltender O'Neill.
Keeper.
Oops. What if we just say goalie? Will that do?
Okay with me. That'll work. That'll work.
Tulaski throws it in. Gets it right back. Tries to play it ahead for Altair. Now Durham tries to go to Ferris. Poisson now for the Hornets. Nice move to kick it away from Lefebvre. There's a trip there that will be called. It'll give the ball back over to the Cougars. Bedard boots it down. Lefebvre over to the far corner. Josh Rabideau chases after it. Goaltender Maggie will pick it up. Maggie will boot one away. Headed back in by the Cougars. Avery Tremblay. Lefebvre plays it in front. Nothing but white shirts there at that point. Kicked out of bounds. And we will have a Cougar throw-in. Matt Letourneau to throw it in for Northeastern. Thrown right in on net. A little bit too much mustard on it. Seven minutes remaining in the first half. Still no score. Ball's going to go out of bounds. It'll be a Plattsburgh throw-in. Cougars will throw it in. We may need to have to go to the Hometown Cable instant replay. Do they allow challenges in high school soccer?
Anybody can come out of the stands and challenge. Each fan is allowed one per game.
Cougars now with a 3-on-2. That was broken up by Nate Nolting. The Cougar fans in front of us are saying it was a handball. I see one of them getting up. He may challenge the ruling.
Of course, it requires a $50 deposit, and if you're wrong, you lose the $50. So
that will probably eliminate many of the challenges.
yes, it does. Because the referee keeps it if you're wrong.
Bedard with it in the corner for Northeastern. That one rolls out of bounds. This one they're going to give to Plattsburgh.
I'll say one thing about this field. They got the nicest outhouses here, that black with the orange around it. Those are nice outhouses you got here.
Those are ticket booths, Calvin.
Uh-oh. I went before the game.
Oh, no. Hopefully Joe Staves is not watching this telecast. They're going to get a nice surprise Saturday afternoon when they have the homecoming football game. There's a trip that will be called. Carpenter and McDonough were battling. McDonough went down, and the Cougars will get the kick. The little window in front didn't give it away that it wasn't an outhouse.
Well, I know how loose you are up here in Plattsburgh in the big city. I just thought it was a city thing.
Cougars with some pressure here. Oh, Rabbit, who had a chance. He was wide open in front. He fanned on it. Cougar throw in. A couple of substitutions coming into the game. Alex Davison and Bo LeDuc check in for Northeastern. That one's going to roll out of bounds. It'll be another Cougar throw-in. Now just under 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Scoreless tie. If you had to give an edge on pressure, that would go to the Cougars. There's another shot blocked in front. Never got through to the goaltender, Maggie. McDonough with it for Northeastern. That's going to roll out of bounds. It'll be a Plattsburgh throw-in. That will headed up by Plattsburgh. Bracey looks to bring it down. He went down. Ball goes out of bounds. Hornets will have it in the throw-in as we're now under 3 minutes. They throw it in for Muhammad Alta here. Cougars got to it first. Ball's going to go out of bounds. It'll be a Cougar throw-in. Avery Tremblay will handle it for Northeastern. He tried to get it over for Matt Letourneau. Alex Davison, nice move. Ball loose in the middle. Cougars with a spin-around shot to Maggie with a nice save. Nice move by Cole Cooper with a spin-around shot, Calvin, but Maggie was right there with the stop.
Yeah, he was in perfect position to field that one.
Cooper might have earned a spot on Dancing with the Stars on that one.
Like Tom DeLay.
Again, more pressure from the Cougars, but this kick will go out of bounds with 1:50 remaining in the first half. Nate Nolting on the kick for Plattsburgh. Rabideau kicks it in. Maggie with the easy stop. He'll come out to punt it away. David Carpenter boots one that's going to go out of bounds. With 65 seconds remaining in this first half. Still no score.
1 minute.
Matt Letourneau on the throw-in. Hornets get to it first. Kick it down to the Cougar side of the field. And we get a whistle. Hornets will have the kick for the dangerous play. And again, they try to get one that they can run down. There's a kick from Fout. That's going to be in. Plattsburgh scores. Rob Fout with a kick that went off the hands of goaltender Dale O'Neill. I think he needed about another couple of inches, and he would have made that save.
Yeah, those are tough. Those that are just under. I think he got up high enough. It's just a matter of the timing, because the average boy can hit the top of that or the bottom of that crossbar, but that was just high enough that it just went over the top of his fingers.
So Rob Fout with the goal for Plattsburgh High School. It comes with just 35 seconds remaining in the first half, and the Hornets have the 1-0 lead. David Ferris now for Plattsburgh. Kicks it in on net. O'Neill makes the easy save. We're down to 10 seconds remaining in the first half. Booted out by the keeper. That's going to roll all the way down, and it's going to take all the time off the first half. We have 40 minutes of play complete from the Plattsburgh High School Athletic Complex. And at the half, it's the Hornets 1 and the Cougars no score. Ready to go to start the second half. Plattsburgh High School with the 1-0 lead. The goal came 35 seconds remaining on the scoreboard in half number 1. For the most part, most of the pressure on the first half was from the Cougars. But nonetheless, Plattsburgh escapes with the 1-0 lead. Cougars now control it. Shot in from Letourneau will be picked up by Maggie. Maggie's made a couple of saves, a couple of good saves this afternoon. Cougars have had a few decent scoring opportunities. Plattsburgh's had a couple. They got one that went in and one that rattled off the post. Plattsburgh's most recent contest was a couple of days ago, a 1-0 victory in Chazy against the Eagles. Maggie throws one out that's broken up by Northeastern. Alex Davison for Letourneau. Open in front. They control the ball and don't get off the shot. Bo LeDuc was right there, but he could not control the ball in time to get off a shot on net. That one will roll out of bounds. It'll be a Cougar throw-in.
What are they doing here?
I think there's a fight going on.
Metal against metal somewhere.
Hornets bring it down now. It'll be Jake Morrow to kick it in on net. O'Neill makes the easy save. Boots one out. That's going to go over to the far side for Tremblay. Avery Tremblay heads one down for Beau LeDuc. Duke gets it back to Tremblay. They'll chase after it into the corner. Tremblay gets to it first, throws one in front. Shot, score! Nice effort by Avery Tremblay over in the corner to get the ball in front. And I think it was Beau LeDuc, number 22, who nailed it home.
Beau LeDuc. Sounds like the Beau and Luke. Duke.
Well, it certainly turned out to be a hazard for the Hornets.
Beau LeDuc with the goal, Avery Tremblay with the assist.
So we are tied at 1. Tremblay with a nice pass to LeDuc. And that pressure from the Cougars just continues in the second half that we saw in half number 1.
Are they dismantling these bleachers or what?
It certainly sounds like it. We may be on the ground here. I think this could be payback for what you did to the ticket booth.
Could be.
David Carpenter kicks it down for Plattsburgh High School.
Assisted by Avery Tremblay.
Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a Hornet throw-in. 1-1 the score. 36:50 remaining in the contest. Is it too early, Calvin, to talk about overtime?
It's never too early to talk about overtime. It's like when a pitcher's throwing a no-hitter. You don't mention it, but it's always there.
Plattsburgh, knock on wood, has not played an overtime game all season long.
I learned long ago, even if the score is 3-0 and there's 10 minutes to go, you don't say 10 minutes to go in the game, you say 10 minutes to go in the second half. Because as soon as you say game, the other team will tie it.
Cougars kick it back in. Avery Tremblay tried to play it over to the center. Went off his foot. Hornets bring it back up. Bracey played to the near side. Ball's going to roll out of bounds. Carpenter was chasing after it, along with Ben LeDuc. We have a Ben LeDuc and a Beau LeDuc. Is there a no Luke LeDuc?
No, not that I know of.
That one roll out of bounds. Plattsburgh throw in. They try to get it down for Ferris. It goes off the head of Ben LeDuc. Ferris battles in the corner. Ferris comes out with it. Tries to center. Kicked out of bounds by the Cougars. It will be a Hornet throw-in. Substitution as Brad Buskey comes into the game for Michael Elkins. Morrow plays it in on net. Oh, ball loose. Hornets with a chance, but nice job to clear it away at the last minute. I think it may have been Liam McDonough who cleared that out.
Yep. 17.
They battle for it in the corner. A little pushing and shoving going on over there.
Can't make the wrong call if you don't make a call.
And it's going to be another corner kick for Plattsburgh. Fourth of the game for the Hornets. Northeastern still hasn't had one. Rob Knowles will see what he can do. Kicks it in. They try to head it in. Ball loose in the box, and it's going to roll. Well, didn't go out of bounds. Hornets get to it. They try to play it back in, and this one's going to go off the shin of one of the Northeastern players, and it'll be a throw-in. Fout for the Hornets. Throws it for Morrow. Ball comes free to Bracey. He sends it back for Buskey. Cougars pick that one off. And it's going to go out of bounds off Plattsburgh High School. Be a Cougar throw-in. Bracey with a header. And they will let that one roll out of bounds. Another throw-in for Northeastern. Matt Letourneau throws it in. Cougars with a good chance here. This is Parent with a nice block. Nice recovery by Plattsburgh as that one rolls out of bounds. So now the Cougars will get a corner kick. It will be Matt Letourneau. And that one is behind the net. It'll turn it over to Plattsburgh.
Well, they're all saying when they put the ball to the back of the net, but I think he misunderstood.
Knowles will boot one for PHS. Kicked back in by Northeastern. Now Fout with it. Parent tried to get to it first, but it was Nolting there for the Hornets. Now Bracey. It's around one man. Plays it over the near side for Ferris. That will roll out of bounds. We're going to call it a Cougar throw-in. 31 minutes remaining in the second half. Tied at 1. We're at the Plattsburgh High School Athletic Complex. Rick Knowles and Calvin Castine for Hometown Cable. They're going to call it a white throw-in. I think that one might have hurt Calvin. That one was right off the side of the head of Alex Davison. McDonough goes down. They continue to battle for it. Hornets try to get it to Ferris. Ferris with it in the corner. He's bothered by Thomas Bedard. Kicked in. That's going to go off the side of the net. And the Cougars will have it. Off the kick. Intercepted by the Hornets. It's going to roll out of bounds, though, and the Cougars will have the throw-in. 29:45 to go in the second half. Nolting. His kick intercepted by McDonough, who plays it to the near side for Parent. Now Davison, far side for Avery Tremblay. This kid has got speed, but he won't get to it in time. It rolls out of bounds. It'll be a Plattsburgh throw-in. Cougars look to bring it in. Ball bounces over the head of Patrick Parent. And Nolting has it for the Hornets. Intercepted by Bedard. Over for Parent. Comes back to Bedard. Again, they look for Parent. Bracey headed one out, but it went right to Bedard. Bedard again with it. Tries to throw one in front. The Duke is there, tried to get it over to Tremblay, but it was broken up before Tremblay was able to get a boot on it. Ferris now tries to keep it in for the Hornets. He will kick it down for David Carpenter. In on net, makes the shot, and yes! The goaltender came out to make the play, but Carpenter got enough on it that he got it past goaltender Dale O'Neill, and the Hornets go back on front, 2-1. 14.
25.
No, it wasn't 25, it was 14. Yep. So the Hornets with the 2-1 lead. The Cougars will look to get some pressure on Plattsburgh goaltender Mitch Maggie. 27-25 remaining in the second half. Carpenter with it again. Tried to move around Bedard, but that one was broken up. Ball comes loose over to the near side for Morrow. Fout comes in to help out. Ball rolls free. It will be a white throw-in. Brad Buskey throws it over the head of Morrow. Ball comes free to Carpenter. Goes out of bounds. And the Cougars will throw it in. They'll make a substitution as well as Josh Rabideau checks back into the ball game. That one rolls out of bounds. It'll be a Cougar throw-in. We may have another seagull invasion here at Plattsburgh High School, as there are a few of them roaming around. The last game Plattsburgh played at home, there had to have been at one point probably 25 or 30 seagulls roaming the area. It was very dangerous for the players.
They were, I assume, in the air, not in the field.
They were in the air, but they were low flying.
Low flying. So what danger was that you were referring to, Rick?
Probably the same danger of what you left in the ticket booth.
Can we move on from that?
We probably better. Cougars kick it in. Knowles is going to let it roll out of bounds. Hornets bring it down on the attack. Altair lost it and comes back out for Fout. And Fout plays it over to the far side. Wonga gets it back in for Ferris. Ferris might have got away with a shove there. Knowles will let that one roll out of bounds, and he'll throw it in for PHS. This time the throw-in will go to the Cougars. More substitutes for Northeastern. Dustin Pupor, number 8, and Marcus Lefebvre, number 12, come into the ball game. Cougars will throw it in. They trail by a score of 2-1. Hornets took the 1-0 lead with 35 seconds remaining in the first half on the goal by Rob Fout. Goaltender Dale O'Neill was able to get his hands on it, but it just bounced over his head into the back of the net. Northeastern tied the game in the early minutes of the second half on the goal from Beau Leduc, with Avery Tremblay getting the assist. Nice setup by Tremblay, who chased it down in the far corner. And then Plattsburgh took the lead on the goal by David Carpenter. That's where we stand right now with 22 and a half minutes remaining in the second half. Ferris with it for Plattsburgh, plays it near side for Toloski. That was broken up. Ball comes back for Durham. Cougars will kick it out. It'll be a Plattsburgh throw-in. Toloski to throw it in for the Hornets. Rob Fout tries to play it back for Toloski, but that goes out of bounds, and the Cougars will throw it in. Cougars trail by a goal as we approach the midway point of the second half. They try to get it to Elta here. That pass was just a bit behind him. McDonough battles for it with Kwanga. McDonough goes down. Kwanga still with the ball for Plattsburgh. Gay comes in to help out. That one's going to go out of bounds, and it'll be a Hornet throw-in. Cougars look to bring it down. Rabideau and Knowles battle on the far side. Those are two hockey teammates. This one's going to go out of bounds, and it will be a Hornet throw-in. Alta here takes it into the corner, tries to keep it in, does a nice job, but the Cougars will take control. Brogan in front, Durham. Durham with a kick, saved by O'Neill. O'Neill to boot it away for the Cougars. The boot's going to go out of bounds. So the Hornets will throw it in. This is Buskey. Headed right back out of bounds by Tremblay. Buskey will throw it in again. Cougars control this one. Tremblay tried to play it ahead. Fout was there for the Hornets. Now Bedard. He'll kick one down. They'll chase after it. Hornets get to it first. Nolting plays it back out to the center stripe. Toloski tried to move in. He ran into Tremblay. This one's going to go out of bounds. Cougar throw-in. Cougar throw-in. 19 minutes remaining in the second half. 2-1 the score in favor of Plattsburgh. That one's going to go out of bounds. More substitutes check into the game. A pair of 19s. Patrick Parent for the Cougars and Jake Morrow for the Hornets. Goal kick coming up for PHS. Rob Knowles appears to be handling it for Plattsburgh. Morrow tried to boot one down, but it was Zach Gay there to stop it for the Cougars. Rabideau goes down along with one of the Hornet players. Rabideau still working, trying to get it in front. Ball comes loose. Muhammad Altahir plays it to Chris Gray. Gray tries to get it back for Jake Morrow. Intercepted by the Cougars. Letourneau and Fout battle for it. Fout drops it back for Toloski. Toloski back to Fout. Now to Morrow. They try to find Alta here, but Gay was there for Northeastern. And this one goes out of bounds. So Cougar, it'll be a Plattsburgh throw-in off the Cougars. Toloski throws it in. Cougars end up with it. Call it out of bounds and give the ball back over to Plattsburgh on the toss. Plattsburgh will have another throw in as it was kicked out of bounds by Cole Cooper. As we're down to 17 minutes remaining in half number 2. We are at the Plattsburgh High School Athletic Complex on the campus of Plattsburgh High School, bringing you CVAC JV soccer action between the Cougars and the Hornets. Been a good contest back and forth. Plattsburgh started up with a 1-0 lead late in the first half. Cougars tied it early second half, and Plattsburgh, about 6 minutes after the tie, took the lead, and it stayed that way for about the last 15 minutes or so. Cougars still with plenty of time to try to get something going as we approach 16 minutes remaining in half number 2. Leduc plays one over. Trombley could not get to it. Tried to go to Avery Trombley over on the far side, but goaltender Mitch Maggie was out of the net quickly to pick it up for Plattsburgh. Now Leduc tries to go back to Trombley. It was a potent combination on the first goal for the Cougars. Leduc has it taken away by Bracey. Played near side. Toloski hits it up for Morrow. It was Carpenter who got it back to Morrow now. A nice play by the Cougars to take it out of bounds and prevent the scoring chance. Plattsburgh had a chance at a 2-on-1, but nice hustle on Zachary Gay's part to come back and break that up. Hornets with the corner kick. Rob Knowles will try it for PHS. Gets it in. The header is taken out of the box. Tried to play. Toloski tried to play it back in, but the Cougars will kick it out of bounds. Plattsburgh will have the throw in. Trombley over for Cooper. Cooper tried to sidestep Knowles, but that one goes out of bounds off Knowles for a Cougar throw-in. Substitution as Ben Leduc will check into the game for Daniel Patry.
Close, like Patry, like partridge. Patry. I told that to a woman one time when we had a fellow named Leonard Patry working with us in the office at Sheridan Company, and she could never remember his name. I said, it's Patry, like Patry in a pear tree, and she ended up calling him Partridge.
Mohamed Altahir battles with his man, comes out with the ball. Altahir with a shot, save. Ball loose in front. Toloski tries to get off the shot, can't do it. Good pressure here from Plattsburgh High School. Altahir goes down. Cougars come out with the ball. Cooper lost it as Knowles kicked it back in. Ball will come back to Knowles. Plays it for Carpenter. That one was broken up in front by Ben Leduc. We get the whistle as that one goes out of bounds. Hornets will have the kick as we are down to 13:20 remaining. As Calvin, it certainly seems as though the Cougars have discovered a sense of urgency here, and they need to get something going.
Yeah, last night taping at Northeastern and Beekmantown girls were there, and in the varsity game till the minute 37 left in the game, that was the only goal. It ain't over till it's over.
That's why they play 80 minutes. This one will go out of bounds off David Carpenter. A Cougar throw-in. Nice play by a fan to stop that one. Knowlton kicks it up to center. Chris Gray now for Plattsburgh. Over for Bracey. Bracey drops it back for Buskey. I tried to get it to Carpenter, but Letourneau got to it first for the Cougars. Now Bedard kicks it into the corner for Patrick Parent. Parent tries to get around Knowlton, and Knowlton comes out with it. Kicks it up for Carpenter, but it's broken up by Letourneau. He gets off the shot, a one-hopper into the goalkeeper, who makes the save.
Tender.
We warned you at the beginning it might sound like a hockey game. Mass substitutions for Plattsburgh. Hornets turn it over on the throw-in. And the Cougars give it right back. Durham throws it in for Plattsburgh. Morrow lost it. Comes back to Bracey. Durham with a reverse boot. Goes over McDonough. Fout chasing after it. Fout picks it back up. Fout controls. Tries to play it in, but it was intercepted by the Cougars. David Carpenter on it now for Plattsburgh. Tries to get it to Morrow. Back to Carpenter. Carpenter sidesteps one man, takes it to the net, takes the shot, and O'Neill makes the save. 10 minutes remaining in half number 2. 2-1 in favor of Plattsburgh. Hornets trying to avenge a 3-2 loss when these two teams met up in Champlain. Knowlton will get the boot into the center circle. Durham kicks it down. Morrow tried to get it to Carpenter. Goaltender will get to it first. And O'Neill with the punt. Michael Elkins was there for Plattsburgh. Cougars look to play it back down. Bracey broke it up. Leduc goes after it. Elkins, nice sliding kick to kick it away from Leduc. Fout as it go off one of the Cougar players out of bounds. It'll be a Hornet throw-in. Nate Emery will throw it in for Plattsburgh. Approaching 8.5 minutes remaining in the second half. Cougars need one to tie it. For the last few minutes, the Hornets have had the majority of pressure. Carpenter gets it back over from Morrow. Back to Carpenter. Carpenter plays it back out. And it's taken there by Cole Cooper. Intercepted by Bracey. Cooper gets it back away from Bracey. Elkins boots it down, but there's going to be a trip called on Bracey. Cougars will have the kick. Ball comes loose. Toloski chasing after it for Plattsburgh. This one goes out of bounds off the Cougars. It'll be a white throw-in. David Ferris throws it in for David Carpenter. Ball bounces free. Ball loose in front. Ferris with a kick. It goes wide. So another good scoring chance there for Plattsburgh High School, as they have controlled play for most of this second half. First half was, play-wise, was dominated by the Cougars, even though the Hornets had the 1-0 lead. But the majority of scoring opportunities in this second half have gone Plattsburgh's way. Carpenter again with a kick that goes out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick. We are down to 6.5 minutes remaining in the second half. Parrott, nice job to keep it in. Sidesteps Elkins, tries to get around Bracey. They continue to battle for it. Ball comes loose to Cole Cooper. Cooper takes it in on net. Who gets to it first? Cooper does. The shot is blocked away from in front. Nice scoring opportunity by the Cougars there as Cole Cooper put a nice move on the Plattsburgh defender to get off the shot. Another shot saved by Maggie. Cougars turning up the pressure now. 5:50 to go, second half. Still a 2-1 Plattsburgh lead. Maggie boots it down. Ball comes free to Knowles. Knowles tries to play it ahead, but Cooper gets to it first. Knowles will chase after him. Cooper has it go out of bounds. Corner kick coming up for the Cougars. McDonough kicks it in, the shot, they score! So the corner kick from Liam McDonough, and Cole Cooper gets the goal.
Cole Cooper?
Yeah.
The assist was McDonough?
Yep.
What's his first name?
Liam. So we got a tie game with 4:44 remaining.
Northeastern goal scored by Cole Cooper. Assisted by Liam McDonough.
Plattsburgh with a goal kick. Knowles tries to get it up for David Ferris. Cougars take it there. Letourneau lost it to Gwanga. McDonald battles with him. Ball goes out of bounds. Cougar throw-in with 4:10 remaining in the second half. You know what we're looking at, Calvin?
That dreaded OT. I hate OT.
Here come the Hornets. Carpenter for Fout. Back to Carpenter. Carpenter gets it back over for Fout. Fout will let it roll out of bounds, and the Hornets will have a throw-in. Plattsburgh will have the throw-in, as we're now down to 3:10 remaining in period number 2. That one is easily handled by Dale O'Neill. Neal will come out to boot one away. Chris Gray tries the header, but it goes out of bounds. Cougar throw-in. Bracey had it go off his foot out of bounds. Cougars will throw it in. Letourneau will handle it for Northeastern, as we're down to 2:30. David Carpenter tries to keep it in, does. Ben Leduc plays one to the near side. It goes out of bounds. Carpenter throws it in for Plattsburgh. David Ferris chases after it along with Ben Leduc. Ferris comes out with it, tries to take it into the corner. This one's going to go out of bounds. Hornets will have the throw in. Chris Gray will throw it in. We're under 2 minutes. Gray tried to get it to Fout. Ball rolls free. Cougars kick it out. Leduc plays it over for Cooper. Gray tried to go back over to Fout. Off a header. Kwanga now for the Hornets. Over to the far side for Ben Newvine. That rolls out of bounds. Throw in for Avery Tremblay. Knowles gets it before Tremblay. Kicks it down. Ferris. Over for Carpenter. Some open ground, but Carpenter can't get to the ball as it's broken up nicely by Patrick Parent. Parent now for the Cougars. Kicked in by Alex Davison. Kicked right back out by the Hornets. Carpenter tries to head one down, but it goes out of bounds as we're under 55 seconds remaining in regulation time. Knowlting kicked it right back in. They've got it to Tremblay. He's dangerous. Now Davison had it taken away. Kicked back in by Bedard. The goaltender Maggie comes out to get to it before Leduc can. Down to 25 seconds. They battle for it at the midfield stripe. Carpenter tries to play it ahead for Chris Gray. Gray will try to go back to Carpenter. Goaltender comes out. Who gets to it first? Dale O'Neill. Just in time as Carpenter was on the rush. 10 seconds remaining in regulation time. 2-2 the score. This one goes out of bounds. And after 80 minutes of play, we are tied at 2, headed to overtime. All right, we're ready for the start of overtime. If you are not familiar with the overtime rules, 2 10-minute overtime segments. As Calvin said, the score could be 15-2 after the first one. They'll play 10 more minutes.
That is absolutely correct.
But I think with what we've seen so far, the odds are against this one being 15-2.
Yeah, I would say no more than 6-2.
And if they're still tied after 20 minutes of overtime, it stays tied.
Yeah, forever. Not just for tonight, but forever.
No shootouts like the National Hockey League. But now the lights are starting to come on here. You can tell, Calvin, we've been here a long time. They've had to turn the lights on here at the Plattsburgh High School Athletic Complex.
Yes, the next game is supposed to start in a little over half an hour.
I don't think that's going to happen. You're filming the next game also, aren't you?
That is correct.
So a doubleheader for Calvin Castine here at PHS. You know, if you're really nice the rest of the game, I might bring you back a Michigan.
Okay, so you'll buy 6 and one of them will make it back this far?
Bracey for Plattsburgh High School. As we are 2-2 in overtime number 1. Gwanga takes it in from the far side, but it's booted out of bounds by Thomas Bedard. And it will be one of those corner kick thingies. Or no, it'll be a throw-in thingy. There's the boot in on net. This one, O'Neill is able to time his leap a little bit better to make the save. Tremblay battles for it with Chris Gray. Trombley wins that battle, but Nolting is there to kick it out of play for the Hornets. Cougars will have the throw-in. Letourneau with the throw-in. Ball comes loose, but it's kicked right back out by Kobe Durham. Letourneau will throw it in one more time. Ball takes a couple of hops. They continue to battle for it. The shot just went wide. That one was off of Alex Davison's foot. Goal kick for Plattsburgh. Rob Knowles will take it. Knowles boots it up for Carpenter. It's going to go out of bounds off the Cougars. It'll be a Hornet throw-in. Chris Gray will throw it in for Fout. Fout couldn't control it, but Durham is there to kick it back into the Cougar end. Bracey boots one down. Carpenter chases after it, tries to split defenders. That one didn't work, as Ben Leduc was there to break it up for Northeastern. Cole Cooper had it bounce over his head. He battles along with Bracey. Letourneau now back up for Cooper. Cooper gets it up for Trombley, but Knowles is there to stick his foot onto the ball and kick it for Bracey. Bracey kicks one down that's broken up. Now Ferris had it broken up by Leduc, who dumps it back into the Hornet end. Stolen away there by Bo Leduc. The Hornets get to it and dump it back into the Cougar end. Ben Leduc plays it for Letourneau. Carpenter comes out with it for the Hornets. Carpenter takes it toward the net. He is pulled down from behind, and there's no call.
Will you stop your whining?
Holy cow.
Want a little cheese with that wine there, Rick? Huh?
Unbelievable.
The ref didn't call it. It didn't happen, okay?
Okay, if you say so. And now the Northeastern fans are mad at the ref. They may not get out of here alive. We may need security for the refs to leave.
They're mad at the refs from 3 games ago.
Oh, that's what it was. They have good memories in the Northern Tier.
It's like the old cowboy movies. I used to watch when I was a kid. You're still mad at a guy from a movie before. The bad guys.
Carpenter plays it into the middle, but it's broken up by Letourneau. Of course, the movies you were watching when you were a kid were, of course, in black and white.
But they were talking.
Plattsburgh's throw-in comes with 4 minutes remaining in overtime number 1. Fout with a shot that goes wide. Gray tried to get to it. Goaltender loses it. Now he picks it up with the screams of get in the net coming from the near side. Gray for Plattsburgh tries to get around McDonough, but couldn't do it. Ball comes loose. McDonough boots it down for the Cougars. Nolting heads it back up. Letourneau over for Cooper. Played over to the near side. Leduc with it. Drops it back for McDonough. They tried to get it to Trombley. Knowles intercepts it, kicks it out of bounds. It'll be a Northeastern throw-in with 3:05 remaining in overtime number 1. McDonough on the toss. Tries to get it to Leduc. Takes a hop over his foot. Bracey is there to try to boot it away. Goes off the head of Chris Gray out of bounds. It'll be a Cougar corner kick. And McDonough will have the honors. Last time we saw McDonough on the corner kick, Cougars got a goal. This one is cleared away by the Hornets. David Carpenter now tries to cleared down into the Cougar end, but the Cougars there to send it right back. Bo LeDuc over to the far side. Ooh, big collision in front there. This one rolls in on Maggie, who makes the easy save with 2:10 remaining. In overtime, number 1, tied at 2. They call the trip. That one might have been a bit of a dive, too. In hockey, you can have a trip and a dive. I think that might have been the call in that case. Cougar with the throw-in. Easy for me to say. Hornets kick it right back out. They'll advance the ball downfield about 10 yards. No, they're going to give the throw-in to Plattsburgh. Plattsburgh makes a substitution. Jack Tolosky comes into the game for Chris Gray. As we're down to 1:25 remaining in OT number 1. 2-2 the score. LeDuc battles for it with Ferris. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Carpenter with the kick. Oh, just at the last moment, O'Neill was able to get his hands on it. Big save there by O'Neill as that one was over his head, and he grabbed it from behind. Keeps us tied. They tried to get the ball to Tolosky, who was breaking in, but it was broken up nicely by the Cougars. Here's Tolosky once again, charging in on net. Nice job by Patry to break that one up. McDonough battles forward in the corner with Carpenter, goes out of bounds. 20 seconds remaining. Hornets on the corner kick. They'll have to work quickly here as we're down to 15. Now down to 10. Knowles boots it in. The header goes backwards, and the scoring opportunity goes away for Plattsburgh. Down to 5 seconds. There's a shot from outside. Going to roll in, but broken up in front by Patry. And that's going to do it for overtime number 1. We'll play 10 more. We are still tied at 2. So the final 10 minutes are now underway from the Plattsburgh High School Athletic Complex. We are in our second overtime. The first overtime was scoreless.
Now you can say time left in the game.
At the half, Plattsburgh led it 1-0. Cougars scored early in the second half to tie it. 6 minutes later, Hornets scored to take the lead. And then just a few minutes remaining in the contest, off the corner kick, Cole Cooper tied it for the Cougars. And that's where we are right now with 9 minutes remaining in the game. The fan count has certainly grown over the past few minutes as the varsity fans have arrived. This one goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Northeastern. Foul intercepts it. Goes off the head of LeDuc. They kick it ahead for Carpenter, but it's broken up nicely in front by Patry. Hornets with the throw-in. Substitute coming into the game for the Hornets. Chris Poisson will come in, and Kobe Durham will take a seat. 8:15 to go in the game. Hornets kick it in front, but it's deflected back out. Knowles there for the Hornets. He kicks one in, but the save is made by O'Neill. O'Neill comes out, will boot it away. Now Bracey for Plattsburgh. Gets it to Fout. Fout tried to sidestep Letourneau, but Letourneau got it over for McDonough. McDonough plays it down. Nolting kicks it right back out. Knowles battles with Tremblay. He gets it back to Nolting, who saves the bacon there for Plattsburgh. Poisson plays it near side for Gwanga. Gwanga tried to get it to Carpenter, but now Fladuke out of bounds. Plattsburgh will have the throw-in. 7:11 remaining in the game. Another substitution as Durham checks back into the game, and Bracey takes a seat. Carpenter tries to keep it in, but it'll go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Cougars. O'Neill comes out of the net, makes the easy stop. Neal booted away. Cougar throw in. Gwanga try to kick it ahead for Carpenter. Carpenter chases after it with Leduc. A couple of shoves exchanged there. Leduc comes out with it. Poisson plays it for Gwanga. Not a Ferris. Ferris looking for someone in front. Carpenter's there, but that's going to go off the side of the net. With 5:55 remaining in quarter number 4. At least that's what the scoreboard says, quarter number 4. It's double overtime. Cougars will have the throw-in. No scoring in the first OT. Still nothing here in the second as we approach the midway point of the second and final overtime. Knowles throws it in for Plattsburgh for Nolting. Nolting kicks it back to Knowles. Knowles will boot it, intercepted by Latorno. It's kicked out of bounds by the Hornets. The Cougars will have the throw-in. Ball comes free. Maggie runs out of the net to pick it up. And Maggie will boot it away for Plattsburgh. Laterno gets to it first for the Cougars. Bounces away from him. Laterno gets back to it. That one goes off the head of Durham. They continue to battle for it. Durham and Laterno. Durham went down on the play. Goes out of bounds off Avery Tremblay. It'll be a Hornet throw-in. 4:20 remaining in the game. Bracey's going to check back in for Plattsburgh. Throughout the overtime, we've seen Plattsburgh substitute quite a bit. Haven't seen too many substitutions on the Cougar side. They may be starting to get a little bit tired as we come down to these final couple minutes of OT. Parisi may have gotten away with a shove there. Gets to the ball first. Parisi still with it. Moves around Latorno. Now Latorno gets it away from Parisi. Parisi will let that roll out of bounds. And they're going to call a red throw-in. Patrick Parrott takes it into the corner. A couple of 19s continue to battle after it. Ball rolls out of bounds with 3:20 remaining. Goal kick coming up for Plattsburgh. Knowles boots it away. Kicked right back in by Latorno. Nolting heads one to the near side for Gwanga. Broken up there by Davison. This one's going to go out of bounds off Davison. Plattsburgh throw-in. Laterno. He kicks it out of bounds. Hornets will throw it in once again with 2:40 to go. Leduc now with a chance, but a nice play by Nolting to break that up. They go over to the far side for Tremblay. Avery Tremblay had it broken away by Bracey. Cougars get it right back to Bedard. Bedard over the near side. Now Tremblay with it. Tremblay has it kicked away. Ball goes out of bounds. They're going to say red throw in. Plattsburgh thought it was going to go their way. Letourneau will throw it in with 1:55 to go. Here's the throw, broken up in front by Knowles. And here come the Hornets out with it. Bracey up to the center stripe. Bracey continues to move up, gets it for Carpenter. Carpenter trying to move in. And a nice play by Patry to break it up away from Carpenter. 1:20 to go in the game. Now Fout gets it back for Carpenter. Broken up by Patry. Fout again. Over to the far side. Toloski battles for it. Jack went down. Knowles tried to kick it in front, but that one was broken up. As we're down to a minute remaining in the contest. Knowlton kicks one sky high that will be headed out by Letourneau. Leduc battling for it. Kicks it in. Knowles kicks it right back out. Letourneau heads it in. Davison plays it near side. Patrick Parent tries to get around the defender Knowlting, who kicks it out of bounds. It'll be a Cougar throw in with 15 seconds. They throw it in front. Ball cleared away. Headed in by Letourneau. Hornets headed back out. Davison with one last shot. Blocked in front. It's going to go out of bounds. And this one is going to end in a tie. Well, the Plattsburgh Hornets and the Northeastern Clinton Cougars. And this one in a tie. Hornets broke out on top 1-0 with the goal from Rob Fout. That's how we ended the first half. Cougars came back on the goal by Bo Leduc to tie it in the early stages of the second half. David Carpenter put the Hornets back on top about 6 minutes after the Cougars had tied it. But with just a few minutes remaining in the contest, off the nice corner kick by Leah McDonough, Cole Cooper was there right in front to put it past Hornet goaltender Mitch Maggie to tie the game for the Cougars, and that's how it ends up. Hornets 2 and the Cougars 2. Thanks to our cameraman from Hometown Cable, Calvin Castine, for his excellent work on the videographic end. I'm Rick Knowles from the Plattsburgh High School Athletic Field.